Welcome to True Crime and Justice UK. This is a channel where I will be looking at true injustices and giving my honest, open opinion on these cases. Henry Nowak, rest his soul, was stabbed in early December 2025. Why are we just hearing about this case in the past week? Well, that's the UK for you. Why did the media not hit on this case? Mainstream media. Let's think. Oh, could it be because it was dare I say it, a white lad that got stabbed? Did it not fit their criteria? But over the years, the media have got this sick ideology that if you're not of a certain race and a certain religion and a certain colour, they don't want to know. Why are not everyone screaming from the rooftops about this case, about this lad? He was 18 years old. 18. And he was chased down like an animal and stabbed 4 times, twice in the face, and I believe to the leg and to the chest. He was chased down. We are going to be watching the video of the interview the father gave after the sentencing, and hopefully we will try and get the video for you to see the video of the police cam of the incident. But I have seen it and I am disgusted with it. I understand 2 of the officers have quit the job, and so they should. They're not fit to be in the police force. I am absolutely disgusted, and everyone should be shouting from the rooftops about this case, because if it had been any other person, any other, dare I say, Muslim person, dare I say, maybe a Sikh, dare I say, Indian, dare I say it, whatever, I've said it. If it was any of those people, it would have been plastered over every fucking newspaper. I am so mad. And that is why I've set this channel up for cases like this. Vikram Digwa, I don't care if I've trashed his name. He just got 21 years minimum for murder. Minimum. Okay, he might do more. I doubt it. I can see him being out, let's say 21 minimum before he can go for parole, possibly. I hope so. It shouldn't have been 21 years. It should have been 40. I don't care if he's only 24. He went out that night. He didn't have just one knife on him. He had 2. 2 knives. He went out and he attacked this young 18-year-old, chased him down and stabbed him. And then my dad, oh, I'm sorry, officer. He was being racist towards me. Oh, was he? Really? Oh, well, hold on then. Just stand there, mate. We'll sort this out. And then they go over and they not only arrest him, they drag this young lad that was lying on some gravel and in between a car and a wall. They drag him across the gravel to then put handcuffs on him and read him his rights. This young lad, you can hear in the video, I've been stabbed. And this one officer goes, I don't think so, mate. And then this other officer, I think it was the same officer, said, oh, I think he's going to be sick. No, he's dying. I'm thinking, I sat there watching this video and I'm thinking, I can't believe what I'm hearing. And then you got this guy who done the attack and the officer says, are you injured? Well, yeah, I've got this, and I'm not joking, this little cut, little scratch on his eyelid. What? And why did he not have the knives on him when the police got there? Oh, yeah. This guy, he didn't have the knives on him by the time law enforcement got there, police got there. Why is that? Because his mommy dearest came and took the knives away. His mother lied, his father lied, his brother lied, the whole family lied. They all lied. And what did the police do? They put this lad in handcuffs and read him his rights. Now, they do say that it doesn't matter, but it didn't really matter whether they got him help earlier. He wouldn't have survived. Well, I don't give two hoots. You don't know that. No one knows that. He drowned on his own blood. What was going through his mind when he's telling them, I can't breathe? He said it several times. And he's told them, I've been stabbed several times. And then that one officer says, I don't think so, mate. Well, I am fucking fuming. I'm so mad that the mainstream media aren't on this. And it took, this is being on the TV and all over the YouTube now for about a week. Finally, yeah, RPM put a statement out. With a bit of arm twisting, and I think you need to put a statement out, sir. The public aren't happy, it's not looking right. We need to get a statement out. Well, I don't give a hoot no more. It shows no compassion whatsoever for the English. This is credit to GB News. This is the interview the father of that young 18-year-old gave after the sentencing.
Henry did nothing wrong. He was one of the kindest, friendliest, and most inclusive people you could ever hope to meet. He was amazing in every way. On the 3rd of December last year, Henry was from night out with his football teammates when he encountered Vikram Digwa, openly carrying a large knife on the. That knife was used to take Henry's life. He should be safe. Instead, he became another young life lost to the brutality of knife crime in this country. Henry had been stabbed multiple times, and as his chest filled with blood, he tried to escape. He was chased, abused, and filmed Vikram and others. When police arrived, Henry was lying on the floor, barely able to sit up and plainly in severe medical distress. With his final words, he told officers that he could not breathe. He told them he had been stabbed. In fact, Henry told officers that he could not breathe 9 times. He told them he had been stabbed 4 times. The response from one officer was, "I don't think you have, mate." The police have said they were misled by the murderer and that the scene when they arrived was complex. Unfortunately, it seems to us the truth is much simpler. The police were told by our son Health and by a member of the public who called 999 that they heard someone shout that they had been stabbed. But the police did not believe them. Henry was his hands forced behind his back, and police formally arrested Henry for assault and read him his rights. That was the last thing he heard. Henry did not die with dignity. He did not die with the care he deserved. He lost consciousness before anyone believed him. Let me be absolutely clear. We are solely and 100% responsible for the brutal murder of our son. Henry should not have died on the stand in police custody. The way he was treated was inhumane and degrading. Murder, however, was afforded decency. He was believed. To the police station. As far as we understand, he was never handcuffed at all. And as Vikram Digwa himself told, whilst under Henry's murder, police even took the kitchen so he could choose.
As you just heard, the father of Henry this person was treated with dignity, as I put it. This scum did not even get handcuffed. Even when he got to the police station, they took him up to the canteen to get some food. If that would be any of us, it'd be, there's some food, slop. You know what I mean? I don't eat this. Tough, that's all we got. It's two-tier policing, and I am fed up of it. People say there's no such thing as two-tier policing. There is. There is. Because the police today are too scared because of the R word. They're too scared to do their job because they're too scared to be called a racist. Well, I'm fed up. I'm fed up of it. I'm fed up of people like him. 21 years. That's a fucking joke. And they gave him that because of his age. He's 24. So even if he did 21 years, it's going to be 44, 45 when he gets out. It says Vikram Digwa, 23, has been jailed for life for stabbing 18-year-old Henry Nowak to death in December. This is what got me mad. I sat there and I'm thinking this week, why are we only learning about that now? This happened in December 2025. Digwa falsely told police that Nowak had racially abused him, prompting officers to handcuff the university student as he lay dying. Right? We then got he was jailed for life with a minimum term of 21 years, so that means he has got to do 21 years before he can go for parole. Well, I hope the parents, anyone who can advocate for the family and advocate for this young lad, be there in 21 years' time. Judge William Moonsley, KC, said the killer's attempts to lie to police and cover up his crime were among several aggravating factors that increased his sentence. So you're telling me if he hadn't lied, if he hadn't tried to cover up, he'd have got off with what? A 15-year sentence? The court heard several victim impact statements from Henry's family, including from his father, Mark, who said he would swap places with his son in a heartbeat if he could. After the sentencing was delivered, an argument broke out between family members of both the victim and killer. Argument. I think they'd have had me up on in charges. Speaking outside the court, Mark Nowak reiterated that his family held Digwa solely responsible for Henry's murder. Yes, he was the one who wielded the weapon. But he said police treatment of his son, handcuffing him and reading him his rights as he lay dying in the streets after being stabbed, was inhumane and degrading. He's so right there. He's 18. He knows he's dying. He's told him he's been stabbed. He's told him he couldn't breathe. When they turned him over to handcuff him, you heard him say, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. You hear him say. So, right, so you got all that. Keir Starmer. This an awful, shocking case. Henry's loved ones have gone through the trauma of a long trial and endured Henry's killer making up appalling claims about their son, who was thoughtful, kind, and deeply loved. It's right that the IOPC is investigating the police response to show. Let's see if I can get more of this. Yes, it's on X. Is investigating the police response to his senseless murder, and we must end the cycle of tragedy by tackling the horror of knife crime. Henry's family, his friends, his university, and the city of Southampton will continue to feel his loss, and our thoughts will always be with them. Is that it? Is that it? No revelation that you're going to put in a new law about these knives that are being carried. We carry a little, if we had just a little, what's in our knife on us, we get done. We're not allowed to carry knives on us. I know I've grown up with Sikhs from when I was in Birmingham, right? And I always used to see them. with these ceremonial knives, and they are like a ceremonial. They're like a religious form, right? But the youngsters that are coming up in the Sikh world don't look at it like that. They look at it as some knife, some nasty, feck-off knife. Now, if the Sikhs wants to help, then they need to say, under a certain age, they are not to carry these knives. And if they do, they will feel the full force of the UK law. They should not be allowed. It's 24. This lad was 24. He shouldn't be. What the hell? He had 2 knives, and then his family cover up for him, and lie for him. Oh, makes me so mad. Police Commissioner. As we report, central to this case is the fact that Vikram Digwa was able to carry a knife in public because there is an exemption for those who observe the Sikh faith to carry ceremonial daggers. In a statement reacting to today's sentence, Hampshire's Police and Crime Commissioner Donna Jones says she plans to raise this with Keir Starmer. Good luck. Good luck with that. She's not going to get nowhere. Possession of a blanket article in public is usually a serious offence, but Sikhs are allowed to carry a kirpan, a traditional religious blade, as part of their faith. The Sikh Federation claims the blade held by Digwa during the attack was not a kirpan, and said the description of it as such has led to unnecessary attacks on the Sikh identity. Don't come being the victims here. Please. Don't be like the others, right? You stand firm and you say what he did was wrong. Don't try and play it off by saying it wasn't the kirpan. I don't care if it was a kirpan, sinai, whatever, for fucking knife. I don't care. It's a knife. It should not be carried. Why can't they use like a wooden ceremonial one just to be worn on the front of their, you know what I mean? They don't need a knife one. I used to do Aikido, martial arts, and we had weapons, right? But we had the wooden ones because we was training, always in training. You could buy the real ones, but we would never use them in training. Never. And they'd only be for show in your home. Right? We wasn't even allowed to carry those along the streets. We had to buy a special case for them to go in. Right? Because we was not allowed to carry them in public. So I had to go in a special carrier bag. But they're allowed to carry fucking knives on them. Because it's part of their religion. I know it's been going on for years, but it's not the older generation of Sikhs, it's the younger generation. Hampshire Police and Crime Commissioner has released a statement saying Henry Nowak's death was a national tragedy. Donna Jones says the way the teenager died was harrowing and that's devastating. Officers did not believe Henry when he told them he'd been stabbed and could not breathe. The incident that led to Henry being arrested and handcuffed was part of Vikram Digwa's cruel intentions to frame himself as the victim. Mark Nowak said earlier that the way the police treated his son during his dying moments were inhuman and degrading. Hampshire police arrested and handcuffed Nowak regarding him his rights, reading him his rights as he lay dying on the road after the attacker, Vikram Digwa, told officers he'd been racially abused. But all in all, he'd been racially abused. Say he had. Does that give him the right to stab someone? No, it doesn't. It doesn't give him the right to use a knife on him. A few hurty words. Come on, we get it every day. Hurty words does not give anyone the right to use a knife and kill them and chase them down like an animal. The Sikh Federation has criticised the Crown Prosecution Service for making a massive blunder during the trial of Vikram Digwa. It says the CPS should have made clear that the weapon used by Digwa during the murder was not a kirpan. I don't care if it wasn't a kirpan. A Sikh ceremonial knife, as it had been described throughout the trial. In the UK, carrying a kirpan is legal, provided it is for religious reasons. So why did I grow up seeing them walking around the streets wearing them? They wasn't going to wherever that. They just going shopping. They just going up the roads, going about the normal day-to-day business. But they was wearing them. It's a bit like the Catholics or Christians wearing a chain, right, with the cross on. We're not even allowed to wear them nowadays because people can take offence at it. And that's a fucking necklace. But they're allowed to carry a knife. The Sikh Federation says the decision was not to release the photograph of the murder weapon is controversial and adds to the huge mistakes made by the police when they arrived on the scene. Don't stick up for the fact he had a knife on it. I don't give two hoots if it was a tickly little squat of a fucking knife. It was a knife. It says politicians and commentators on the right who have made controversial statements based on incorrect information should have the decency to recognise the fact and stop attacking the Sikh identity. Oh God, please. A kirpan is legal for religious reasons. Only to be rewarded for religious, provided it is for religious reasons. Walking down the street and whatever, whether it was a kirpan or not a kirpan, he had a knife. He used a knife, and they made a stupid story up to cover it up by saying he's being racist. I'm quite surprised Keir Starmer didn't put in his statement about being far right, something about, well, the young lad might have been far right or whatever, you know what I mean? Because that's his usual way of going about things. I have got the video, and we are going to go and watch it. So I just got to go in the right place. Hold on. It's not all the video, it's just some of the video. So we are going to be watching that. Now this is very disturbing, so I will put trigger warning out there. But this is credit to GB News. This is the body cam, please, body cam footage of Henry Nowak.
Swollen eye, a little bruise.
Alright, just step back a little bit for me. Someone flag these down.
Grab his other arm. What's happened to you, alright? You've been whereabouts? Yeah. Hand? Hand in the cuff, mate. Yep. This is like punches has happened to us. Sandy's been stabbed. So
where is he thinking being stabbed? Oh no, but we have to check, don't we? Should we
keep you on your side, mate. You gotta retrieve them. Saying to him, keeping him on his side. We were set up when we had him here, but he didn't like it. What's your name, mate? That's for assault, so you do not have to say how much. If you do not mention questions, we'll switch you later. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, alright? Be sick, I think.
Yeah. We've got this male. He's been beat up. His pupils on acting.
So you could see from those very dark but also pixelated in certain areas. But it's what that one police officer said when he said, I've been stabbed. He said, you've been stabbed? Where? He said, I don't think so. Then you got one officer standing there saying his eyes aren't, his pupils aren't reacting to the light. Well, what does that tell you, love? He's told you he's been stabbed. He's told you he can't breathe. And then you're saying his pupils aren't reacting to light. Come on. And then you handcuff him and read him his rights for assault. Assault? Who's the one who's injured? Him, this lad on the floor, or the one standing up there going, oh, got a little scratch on my eye. Oh, he's got a little boo-boo on his eye. Oh, dear. I'm so sorry for his family. His mother, if you watched in that interview they gave, his mother, how she stood there. Arguably literally being on the floor, crumpled in a crumpled heap. You know what I mean? He's 24 years old, this lad. He's just been sentenced. He's got 21 years to do in prison. He'll be 45 when he comes out. When will enough be enough? Every day we hear of something. And now everyone needs to shout out and make their voices heard on this young lad. And show his family they have got support out there. Anyway, please keep this lad in your mind because he's 18. He's not gonna. This lad, the one who killed him, it's gonna come out when he's 45, 46. Right? He's still got a life. Still young enough to get married and possibly have children. This young lad, Henry, had his whole life ahead of him. He was going places. He's not going places now because that vile piece of ish took his life. Anyway, till the next one, stay safe, everyone.